Last week I found this original 1950s RCA 77D up for sale, so today I'm going to be taking it apart and restoring it. First things first, I'm getting rid of the stiff old cable, so I'm just cutting it off and then removing the 4 screws and taking off the cup to see that this is an MI4045C, which would have been made in the mid-1950s. If I flip the microphone over, there's a chart that shows the different ohm options, and I always wire up these 77s for 250 ohms, which you can see on the right side of the chart. And then I'm going to clean up these terminals and get a new cable installed. I'm very fortunate to have a supply of original RCA parts, and this cable needs a new clamp, so I'm going to unbox this original clamp and the original RCA packaging and put it on this cable. And then once it's on there, we're going to put a new XLR on the end of the cable. I always do 2-foot cables on these RCA microphones. Obviously, if somebody sends in a microphone, I can do a different length, but that is just the standard that I do around here. With that XLR installed, we can put the cup back on the microphone, and check it out, we've got a perfect cable on this RCA 77. This 77 was missing its cushion mount, so I went back to my supply of parts and was able to put one together. It does pain me to open the original packaging, but luckily I have a lot of these, and also they're being put to good use. So now we put on this cushion mount on the microphone, and check it out, we've got an RCA 77D with all of its correct hardware. Now for the grills. These grills don't look too bad, but they do have some bumps in the original cloth, which is falling apart with some holes in it, and it's very discolored. So I'm going to remove it and then put these grills on my original RCA block, which was used to buff out these grills back in the 50s. And I use a rubber mallet to get out the bumps and make them look nice and clean. I then cut the cloth to the right dimensions and used some spray adhesive to put it on the grills, and these grills are looking like new again. And now for the fun part. After removing the cloth over the ribbon, this original ribbon is dirty and warped and needs a replacement. So we're going to take out the old ribbon and clean the motor very thoroughly so there's no metallic pieces left around, and we'll have a nice space for the new ribbon to go into. I use 1.8 micron thick aluminum for 77s, which is what they used when these microphones were made, and then I cut the ribbon to the exact dimensions of the ribbon gap. I use this original RCA corrugator for 77s and other RCA microphones that have small corrugation patterns, and this corrugator makes them to the exact same specs as the originals. It can take many tries to place a perfect ribbon in a 77, as it needs to be perfectly tensioned and tuned. If the ribbon's too tight, you're going to lose bass frequencies, and if it's too loose, it's going to have too much bass and it won't be able to handle high SPL sources. I've got this ribbon set up just how I want it, so I'm going to solder the ribbon to the clamps so that the signal stays consistent for the long run. Then I'm going to cover the ribbon so no loose metallic particles can make their way in there. And lastly, I'll put the grills back on and do some more testing. Once the microphone has passed every test, I have these special tags that I put on every repair that I do that outlines everything that I did to each microphone. I also go to different session players' houses every week to get samples for the microphones that I list for sale on my website. And I'm selling this RCA 77, so we're going to go to my friend Adam's house and get some different drum samples from this exact microphone. I think this microphone sounds great, and the only thing left to do was take some pictures of it so I could post it for sale on my website. The pictures turned out great, and like every week, I post vintage microphones for sale on my website at 8 p.m. Central on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This one went up for sale on Monday, and this RCA 77D sold in less than a minute, which is crazy enough the norm around here. While this was a microphone that I was listing on my website, I do different repairs for different studios, producers, and musicians, just like this one, every week. If you'd like to send in a microphone for repair, you can send me an email or fill out the repairs form on my website. Thanks for watching. I hope this was enjoyable seeing the whole process, and I'll see you in the next video.